utter audacity! Who would dare to seize control of my TARDIS? Oh, of course, Lord President Galladone. I'm flattered. Tell me, to what do I owe this honor?
I'm sure you can forgive me for resorting to such intrusive measures. After all, you've hardly been the most cooperative Time Lord in the past.
A character trait that I do pride myself upon.
Yes, well, if you could put your pride aside for the moment, we have a task that requires a Time Lord of your particular attitude.
Well, well, well. The situation must be dire if you're calling on me. But what makes you think you can just reel me in like a fish on a hook whenever you need a big boy to do your dirty work for you? Besides, don't you have the Doctor for this sort of thing?
Unfortunately, the Doctor possesses qualities that make him unsuitable for this sort of business. Qualities that oftentimes make him even more unreliable than you.
Ah, you mean his infuriating hero complex. You need someone who enjoys the squelching sensation of blood between the fingers. But you still haven't answered my question, though. What makes you think you can just summon me to do your bidding? What's stopping me from getting back in my TARDIS right this instant and... Ah!
You're surrounded by a dozen Citadel guards in strategic positions. Their weapons trained on your head and both your hearts. One wrong move and there'll be no regenerations from the onslaught they'll unleash.
Well then, how could I possibly refuse? Please, propose away.
Gracious of you. Now the situation is urgent, so I'll cut straight to the point. One of the Celestial Intervention Agency's most formidable agents has gone rogue.
Dear me, a rogue Time Lord. We can't have that now, can we?
The agent in question, Malervorus, was sent on a mission to gather intelligence on an artifact unknown as the heart of the Cybermen.
Oh, and let me guess, he's gotten himself into a spot of bother, has he? You need somebody to go in and free him from those mundane metal monsters.
Not exactly.
Oh, I see. He's gone native, hasn't he? He's been upgraded and now he's more Cyberman than Time Lord, right?
We don't know the details. All we know is that he obtained the information he was looking for, then went dark. We stopped receiving communications from him, and we lost remote access of his TARDIS. We sent agents to his last known location, and they found him, but he opened fire on them, killed them both.
Oh, really? Are you sure?
Their vids were transmitting the whole time. Mission Commander witnessed the whole thing, as did I. Afterwards, he fled, but we were able to track his movements to Actrius Prime. We sent a platoon. None survived. Next we found him on Sanglor. He was ready for that. He detonated a series of Tachyon pulse charges that he'd set in orbit around the planet's star. The entire fleet was annihilated while he slipped away in his TARDIS.
Oh, I'm really starting to like this fellow.
He was one of our best agents, so he knows all our tricks, all our strategies. No matter what we try, he'll always be one step ahead of us.
That's because you're all so limited. You lack imagination and cunning and ruthlessness. So, I suppose that's where I come in.
Indeed, we've tracked him to the caves of Kalgoros, and no doubt he'll be lying in wait ready for another attack fleet. That's why we're opting for a different tactic this time. It is our hope that since he's expecting a large-scale assault, a team of 2 agents on their own will be able to slip in unnoticed.
2 agents? Surely you don't expect to just be able to love me with some useless oath to keep an eye on me. I can guarantee that whatever idiot soldier you assign to me will only slow me down, and I'll probably be forced to kill them. Hell, I may even very well kill them just for the sake of it.
I would like to see you try. It would give me an excuse to blow that smoke ring off your face.
Is that really you?
Where's more of that little road trip of ours? Don't ever call me that. I haven't got by that name for a very long time. I'm the poet now.
The poet? Really? Where in heaven did that come from?
I don't think I need to explain my chosen name to trump up a little man who parades around the universe telling people to call him the master.
What is this Galladone? What's she doing here?
She's here to keep an eye on you. I know that you two have a history together, so I have every confidence that she'll be able to keep hold of your leash.
I still haven't said yes, yet. But of course, how could I possibly refuse?
Good man. But just in case you do need extra incentive, well, be keeping hold of your TARDIS whilst you're gone. Poet, take him to the armory to stock up on weapons. I know I don't need to tell you to keep an eye on him. When you're done, meet me in the TARDIS bay.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, an armory. This might not be so bad after all. So, it's been a good, 5, 6, maybe 7 centuries since we last saw each other, I mean?
Possibly. Who knows? I think all that time hanging around Earth has made you too linear. All I know is that the last time I saw you, you were trying to kill me.
Ah, yes. Sorry about that. In my defense, though, I only did that in an attempt to lure out your husband. Now, there's someone who spent too much time on Earth. Why, he's practically gone native. Speaking of your hubby, I dare say he'd be none too pleased to see you loading up like Rambo over there.
These are purely as a last resort. We have no idea what we're walking into, so we have to be prepared for any eventuality. Also, I'll ask you not to talk about my husband. Otherwise, I just may have to use one of these on you.
Oh, I do hate being caught in the marital dramas of others. There's something about the TARDIS docking bays that really makes me nostalgic. It really takes me back to the day I first stole a TARDIS and ran away.
And left 2 bodies in your wake.
Yeah, they still talk about that day around here. You know, you killed 2 people and caused 3 more to regenerate.
Oh, I do apologize, my dear. Were you?
No, before my time, thankfully. Still plenty of folks around here to remember, though. We TARDIS attendants and mechanics don't often have to deal with psychopaths. It sort of sticks in the collective psyche. Here we are, sir. Lot 223 BX9 Alpha. She's in perfect working order. I gave her final once over personally. Astron cells are fully charged. Fluid links are full. Chameleon circuit and dematerialization circuits are both.
Oh, good grief.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I'll be in the workshop if you need me.
Oh, Restilian, one more thing.
Yes.
Do take care of my TARDIS while I'm gone, won't you? Not a scratch, you hear?
Keep an eye on that one.
Oh, don't worry. I attend to.
Bit smaller on the inside than I'm used to.
It's a Type 93 MKIV, specialized designed for the stealth missions. The interior dimensions aren't quite as expansive as the base model, but that makes more for seemingly traveling through the vortex, as well as hosts of real-world evasive capabilities.
Personally, I think that everything after the Type 71 has been creatively stillborn, devoid of all imagination, but that's just my opinion.
Right. Weapons are stored and secure. What have I missing here?
Positively nothing of interest, my dear. Anyway, I think it's high time I make my leave. There's no use in reminding you of how important this mission is. So instead, I'll just wish you luck. Remember, if you don't check in 10 hours, we'll assume that the mission was a failure, and you've either been captured or killed. Either way, there will be no rescue attempt.
I say, what an inspiring send-off. Have you ever considered leaving politics to become a motivational speaker?
Poet, good luck. And be careful.
What? No special goodbye for me? Well, someone's playing favorites.
Well, with all due respect, Lord President, but do you really think this was a good idea? Do you really think he can be trusted?
A resounding no on both counts, my dear. But desperate times and all that beside, the poet can handle herself, and she can certainly handle him.
Let's hope you're right.
console room's a bit small. How's about we spruce it up a bit, give it some style? Your husband once utilized a design I quite liked. All cavernous with Gothic arches, like some sort of cathedral. For the worship of his ego, no doubt.
We got more important things to worry about than the interior decorating. And what did I tell you about mentioning my husband?
So, what's the plan anyway?
That's the Connor system, as it stands in the time period where Marvelous has taken shelter. That right there is Carlos. Marvelous is clever, but he's also an agent of the CIA, which makes it predictable. We know the playbook he's working from. He'll have us set up a taken web throughout the star system, but that's because he will be expecting a fleet of TARDISes and N-forms. A single TARDIS should be slipped through it without any trouble. As for the planet itself, naturally he'll have a basic graphic perimeter defenses surrounding his location. Lucky for us, that will make it easier for us to narrow his location on the planet. Here.
A cave? How unoriginal. And unsanitary.
And Stratic. It's nestled in a pretty imperial desert mountain range, so there's already a pretty considerable natural defense. On top of that, there's these.
Temporal mines? Cheeky boy. That rules out landing on his doorstep. I'd wager he has them laid out at equidistant intervals, fanned out across a 10-mile radius?
20 miles, actually.
So, we're in for a bit of a hike then.
Thankfully, no, because we have these.
Vortex manipulators? I hate to point out the obvious, but the mines will tear us into even tinier pieces if we try to go in with nothing more to protect us than a couple of human-made, wrist-mounted temporal pogo sticks.
That's why we're only going to be using the transmit capabilities. They'll function perfectly fine as a short-range teleports. We'll land the TARDIS here, well beyond the range of the mines, but still within the manipulators' transmit range.
Sure you don't think we'll be able to just transmat into his little hidey hole?
Of course not. I'm not fake. Geomapping shows that the cave opens up into a vast network of tunnels, with cave mouths throughout the mountain range. You can bet your last regeneration that he has a basic temporal perimeter sensors in the place in all the cave mouths.
Okay. I'm not seeing a whole lot of options here. We can't transmat into the cave, so... Oh no. You can't be serious. You want us to transmat into the ground? The very rock itself? Even for me, that's insane!
It's our only option. The vortex manipulators have failsafes to prevent users from materializing inside the solid objects. We've tweaked those failsafes so it will allow us to materialize in the stone, but it will displace the material around us to accommodate us.
An explosion? Your idea of a stealthy approach is an explosion?
If you have any better ideas, I'd love to hear them. No? I didn't think so.
Stars above! You could have warned me about the heat. You could have picked a more temperate climate to hide out in. I knew this was a bad day to wear a coat and a scarf.
I'll be sure to take it up with him, if we manage to survive his death traps. This should alert us to any nasty surprises he lays out, but stay sharp all the same. I've also got some rope, a grappling hook line, and a few other odds and ends that could come in handy in a cave.
My dear, I am sharp as a tack at all times. But right now I'm also sweltering!
And then shut up and suck it up. Now come on, we have no time to lose.
Subtle. Very subtle.
Stop complaining and just be thankful it worked. There was a 40% chance that could have been a lot worse for us.
What? You risked our lives on a 55% chance of success? What kind of stupid... That doesn't sound good. You wouldn't happen to have a light on you, would you?
No, I spent weeks strategizing with the Lord President. The High Council and the CIA determines this to be our best course of action, but didn't think to bring a torch. Just give me a second. There, now let's see. Oh dear.
Ah, now that is a tad concerning, isn't it?
What? Half a dozen limb wolves with gadget fangs like razor blades? What could possibly be concerning about that?
Well, for starters, the fact that they seem to be slowly circling us. Tell me, what weapons do you have on you?
Let's see. 2 miniature containment cannons with 6 mages each, a plasma rifle with extended scope, and a phaser with 2 auxiliary power packs. You?
Just a laser dematerializer.
It's hard to say how many of those things there are. Plus, it's never a wise idea to fire weapons in enclosed quarters. The best course of action would be to...
Leg it.
Any bright ideas?
Just one. There's the passageway opens up into a cavern up ahead.
I think I know where you're going with this. I hope you know what you're doing.
Always. Here we are. Get in there and take cover. Okay, let's see if this still works. If I use my dematerializer to cut the rock face into just the right way... There, that should keep them out.
And us in.
We've got the vortex manipulators. What are you worried about?
That doesn't really help us in our mission if we don't know Malervorus' exact location.
Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about that if I were you.
Malervorus! How?
Well, when you made enough noise, when I realized that there were only 2 of you, I set the dogs out to lead you to me.
So, you orchestrated this? I must say, from one professional skimmer to another, I'm impressed.
Coming from you both. I honestly don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult.
Well, I think you made a big mistake. Now tell me where you've hidden this heart of the Cybermen. I'll be taking you and the heart both back to Gallifrey.
Why should I tell you?
Ah, hello, big gun. Thought it would be obvious.
Even if I take you to the heart, you'll only kill me anyway. Or perhaps you'll take me back to Gallifrey, and the CIA or the President will have me killed. It doesn't matter who pulls the trigger. The point is that I have no incentive to...
Oh, good grief. Is this really what it's like to be on the other side of an evil monologue? I have to say, it's nowhere near as fun when you're not the one delivering it.
Well, maybe you should just consider it cosmic karma. Or perhaps proof that the universe has an ironic sense of humor. Now, you're probably both wondering why I had my little pets lead you to this cavern specifically.
Oh, by all the stars above. Are you really going to explain your plans? Are you really going to leave us in a death trap and then walk away to leave us to die? Do I really sound like that? Oh, and apropos your reason for leading us to this cavern. Concerning your death trap, would I be correct in assuming it has something to do with the neurophosphates in the cave walls?
What?
Oh, yes. Didn't you notice those very distinct patterns of illumination in the cave wall? I imagine that our friend here has taken a dose of amino restoratives to protect himself. Oh, don't look too alarmed, my dear. I'd say we have... 7 to 10 minutes before we begin to feel the effects. 2 more after that before we keel over. What was the plan, big boy? Keep monologuing until we succumb to neuroparalytic shock? Sorry to throw a wrench in your plans.
Wrench? What wrench? Why should I care if you know how you're going to die? You're still trapped in here with me. The gas slowly eating away at your nervous system. And if I see either one of you make it for your vortex manipulators, I'll just kill you the old-fashioned way. Plasma bolts through the head and the heart.
Oh no, Malervorus. We're not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
What are you...
What did you do?
Relax, my dear. I merely subdued him with a sharp telepathic burst.
You physically assaulted another Time Lord.
Oh, do get off your high horse. Now we can finally get what we came here for. Now, come here, you. Yes, that's right. Look in my eyes. Yes, I can see you in there. I paralyzed your body, but I left your mind intact for now. Shh. Save your breath. There's no need for words. I can feel you hiding the knowledge I seek. I just need you to let me take a peek behind the curtain.
Be careful. He'll be of no use to us if you shatter his mind.
Relax, my dear. I've been doing this for such a very long time. Now, Malervorus, you will show me where you've hidden the heart of the Cybermen. Yes, I indeed, my friend. I am the master, and you will obey me. Is that what you want? For the big bad master, the villain of the story, to have killed him so that neither you nor the precious Time Lords have to sully their hands? I'd hate to disappoint you. My laser dematerializer should do just the trick.
What are you doing?
Merely playing my role, my dear.
No. This isn't the mission. Don't make me shoot you.
Go ahead, my dear poet, if you have the stomach for it.
Damn it!
Get off me, woman!
Drop it! Drop it right now, or I'll shoot you right through your head!
I think not! Venusian Aikido, dear poet. Your husband and I used to spar all the time back in the day. Didn't he tell you? Oh, and would you look at that? Your intervention was a tad too late. I'm sorry to say there's barely enough left of poor old Malervorus to serve as dog food for his little wolves out there.
I can't move.
Yes, that's because I applied micro pressure to multiple points on your body. Don't worry, it won't last long. It'll just give me enough time to tie you up so you don't give me any trouble. How thoughtful of you to provide your own rope. Very considerate. War gives the right to the conquerors to impose any condition they please upon the vanquished, my dear. Now, up on your feet. There's a good girl. I made sure to leave you enough mobility to remain steady. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
What? Your TARDIS? But how?
Oh, my dear, you are clever. But what makes you think I intend on taking the rental car when I can travel in style? Do you really think I would leave my TARDIS back on Gallifrey with the Time Lords? I locked it onto my spatial-temporal position before we left, and it's been tracking me ever since. All I had to do was give a bit of a whistle through the telepathic circuits, and my good little boy came running to his master.
But the temporal minefield.
Simple, my dear. While I was in the Oath's mind, I took a peek at his little minefield and mapped out the best route. Then it was just a simple matter of navigating my TARDIS telepathically.
So, this is it then? You're going to kill me?
My dear, is that truly what you think of me after our long, long history together? No, I would never harm you. Well, I'd never kill you at any rate. No, my dear sir. Oops, sorry, old habits. No, my dear poet, you and I are going on a little trip. Careful, my dear, the path's a bit icy.
I'll kill you for this!
Of that I have no doubt, but not today. And right now, that's all I'm concerned with. And frankly, that's what you should be concerned with too.
Where are we? You ever seriously be planning on leaving me here?
I have complete faith in your ability to get off this frozen rock in one piece. I just need to put some distance between the two of us. I can't have you running off to the Time Lords to tell on me just yet, now can I? You'll notice that I've left you with both your staser and your vortex manipulator. See? Not such a monster after all, am I?
Yeah? Well, you're such a saint. Why don't you untie me, huh? Give me a chance to repay your kindness.
Don't worry, my little poet. I'll free you from your bonds after I've wiped your memory of this little encounter and our altercation with Malervorus.
Do you really think that will stop us from finding you? We'll figure out what you've done and we'll find you.
No doubt. But until I'm good and ready for you. Now, be a good girl and don't struggle. I usually like it when they struggle, but it does make the process so much more difficult.
Get your hands off of me, you sick son of a...
Yes. That's it. Sleep now.
What? Where am I? Why is it so cold? What? Where did these ropes come from? They've been cut and just left lying in the snow. They haven't been here for long. There's hardly any snow of them. Same goes for me, for that matter. I can't have been here for more than a few minutes. But why can't I remember anything? Monster, where are you? Wait, what's that? That impression in the snow. It's a perfect square, like something was sitting there. But now it's gone. Like the tortoise, that little weasel. I knew I couldn't trust him. Wherever you are, I will find you. Mark my words.
Now then, the heart of the Cybermen. Time to find out what all the fuss is about.